Hello, Pew. How are you? Uh, Good afternoon, Abnormals, and welcome back to the Ministry of Abnormality YouTube live broadcast. I'm your host, Abnormal, and today is Friday, April 14th of 2023. Welcome back to my show. It's Art Challenge Friday, and today's art challenge is very interesting and very different. I hope. I mean, it is. Like, I don't have to hope for anything. It is different. It's very, very different. So, what are we going to be doing for art challenge today? Well, today's art challenge consists of producing an image with only gray and one color. And so the whole idea of the experiment is that the gray will react to the other color. But like, gray will react to whatever other color you have in the image. So we're gonna do a little bit of experimentation with it. I'm gonna first study a little bit an image that I have as a sample of perception of color and like the experiment that we're doing today. Then I'll do the drawing for about the first hour, and then I'll spend the final 2 hours or hour and a half actually doing that coloring process. Of course, this is the art challenge, so everybody is welcome to join regardless of art style or anything, and at the end I will gladly show the images of whoever participated. And that's pretty much it. That's all there is to say for now. Chat room is... we gotta wait for the chat room to fill up. So I'm just gonna get started. And here we go. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is we're gonna bring in this image, which is a very interesting image because this image has no red in it. Only blues and grays. Mao, hello! How are you, Mao? How's your Friday going? All set for the art challenge? Well, how's everything going? Well, I'm about to analyze this image that has no red in it. It's only blues and grays. So I'm about to analyze it and see what's happening with it. And from there, I'm gonna start my own image. So let's actually get started here. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we know that there's only blues in this image. And it might go a little bit into green. But basically what we got is blue shadows and gray light. Right? So like the light goes into gray and the shadows and midtones are the blues. So, and then this part here. Okay, that part ventures into yellow a little bit? No. Keeps it green. There's like a little pixel there that it goes very far into the green. Still no red though. And I'll be happy if we don't have the effect super. So the thing is, when we are on absolute blue, like here, it definitely is going to lead us into the other side of the wheel when it goes into gray, right? Now the maximum saturation we have is around here. See that? So we can actually get pretty damn saturated here. Let me see. Let me see. So we can actually get pretty saturated. If we like come here and we open a new image on white and we use, I mean, like, this is a pretty saturated color. See that? Like that shaded part. I mean, look at how it goes on white. Like this part right here, that's like actually a pretty saturated blue. And so if we were to just make all of this, like, I'm gonna go here with this gray. Okay. And then we're gonna go on top and we're gonna make that blue shading. Then we add lights with that gray. Right, we add a little bit of light with that gray. Now, if we give everything else kind of like a little bit of a gray... For this challenge, can we use... And hello, Felix. For this challenge, can we use the whole spectrum of one color? Full grayscale plus every combination of that one color with black, white tones. Yes, but the idea of the whole thing is, like, what's gonna happen, right? Like, what's gonna happen with this, with this color once we... Right, like what? How is this color gonna look? How is this color gonna manifest? And so, as we experiment a little bit here, kind of trying to see what happens. Now, it does seem to warm up the gray a little bit, but I do think it needs a little bit more context, right? Like it seems like I'm using the colors that I'm picking from over there and doing pretty much the same thing that they're doing with the strawberry, but it's not becoming red at all. Like if I grab here, so context matters. Like it matters that the drawing in the other image is of a strawberry. Well, it's not a drawing, it's a photograph. But it does matter. See that? Okay, so what if we do something a little different? What if we were to maybe, let's do a quick drawing here, right? Like we're gonna do a very quick drawing. Let's do a quick drawing of, I don't know, a face, right? So if we were to do what happens if I put the original image in actual grayscale? Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate that. Wait. And we're gonna put above that. Actually, I didn't need to duplicate it. Just gonna put black there and put it in color mode. Okay, when you take away the blue, it immediately just becomes gray, right? Like, now what happens if we start lowering the opacity? At what point do we start seeing the red? Like right away. I mean, look at that. Like that's 75%, and I already see it red. And the more I lower the opacity, the more intense the red gets. But even around 80%, I'm already seeing it red. Hey, Night Cow. So context definitely matters. Now, what happens if here in this image, I do something similar, except, okay, I'm going to grab here and add, I'm going to add that color. I'm going to put it in multiply mode. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this the shadow, right? I'm just going to make this the shadow and see if that makes it shift to, like, you know, skin color and stuff. A warmer skin color. It does become warm. Like, it definitely does become warm. It does start to kind of take on a little bit of the of the color we're looking for in this case. But like, it definitely does start to take on a little bit of a warm kind of hue, doesn't it? Wouldn't you agree? Now, what happens if we grab this? And I'm going to invert that selection. And we're just going to grab that and grab a nice big brush here. Right? And then what happens if we add a little bit darker? Now, the thing is, I want this whole thing to go here. So what if I make it like a more intense blue? Right? Like what if I make this something that is more of an intense blue, right? Like here. And I lower the opacity. No, actually I'm going to leave the saturation where it was. But we are going to make it a little bit more intensely blue. And this one here, I'll make it actually less. Oh no, maybe I need to make it more. Okay, what if we go there? And then what if we were to add, let's see. I'm going to grab that color and make maybe a much darker kind of shading here. Is that gonna work? It's still technically the blue. So as far as I understand, you make the shadows or the shading or the dark areas the opposite of the color you want for the light areas. So in this case, since I want it to look like a warm skin, I'm making the shadows a cold blue, and that should warm up the lights. If I put that in multiply and lower the opacity on that. And what happens if I... Okay, what happens if we grab the line and make that line also of that color, right? So that, it's not interrupting our read. And then what happens if we add a little bit lighter areas? Let's see. It's not quite looking as warm as I would want it to. It is not. Okay, wait. Let's go back to the experiment here. Well, this isn't the experiment. It's not my experiment. But okay, what if we separate the background? Like, what if we do this, okay? And we're going to fill in with whatever color there and put... wait, no, that was light. Okay, so... Okay, yeah, whatever. Okay, and we're gonna fill in there. And then we're gonna put this very light gray underneath. Okay, and this one we're gonna duplicate a couple of times. But this one needs to be more into the blues. What happens if we move this to white? No. Okay, actually, if we go a little bit darker, it becomes a little bit warmer. See that? What happens if we put this one on multiply? Overlay? So it definitely does need... Okay, let's see. What happens if we grab this, place it there, put it in color mode, and delete everything that is... It does start to get warmer. It does. Right? Like, it does actually start to get warmer. And the darker we make it, the warmer it gets. So what happens if we add a little bit of lighter blue right there, but what we're gonna do then is we're gonna do that. Then we're going to reduce this. And Okay, wait. So what happens here, if I just grab this... No, actually, if I just grab here, place... So I'm looking for this opposite. So I'm just going to place this color here, place it in hue mode, then lower the opacity, lower the saturation quite a bit. Let's say there. And then I'm going to do this again and place this in multiply mode. But again, like, I'm just trying to make the image a little bit darker. And then what happens is I grab this and just make it gray, right? Oh, wow. Look, it does start looking a little bit. See that? It does start looking a little bit like warm skin color. See that? It does kind of look like... Like I'm just applying lights with a gray. See the gray that I got right here? Like that's the gray that I'm using. And it kind of immediately gets very, very warm, that gray, even though at no point am I going over there. And I bet that if I even make it a little bit warmer, like here. Let's see. Like if I use that for the light. Still well within the range of the color I'm using originally. But it's not as exaggerated as I would want it to be. So what happens when, for example, I try a different color? Like what happens if I go here and make it this color? Like, do the shadows become cold? Like, how can I achieve maybe green? You know, like if I come here, can I make it green? The gray does become cold. It does become a cold gray. But it doesn't quite become green. So maybe it's context, right? No, I mean, it is. It definitely is context. But then what happens if I wanted to do something like maybe a plant? What happens if I was going to draw a plant? What would happen then? Let's bring in a little bit of this. See if that warms it up. Hello, Matalo. So definitely context does matter. Because once I... Like, here it does become warmer, but simply by virtue of we know it's skin. So what would happen if I were to draw... Okay, Neka. What would happen if I were to draw... Let's just delete all this. What would happen if I were to draw maybe a plant, right? So let's see. Let's draw a plant. Just a simple plant. I took a random strawberry picture from Google, applied a hard light layer with 78% opacity, and almost got the same result. Let me see. Okay, you took a random strawberry picture from Google, applied a hard light layer with 78 opacity. Let me see that. Okay, wait. Let's see. Let's see what we can apply from that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for something like a plant. Just a potted plant, right? So we're going to go with... I never noticed this before. Look at the shadow of the window on top of the other image and when I put my pen down. Huh. Anyway, Um, okay, let's see. So we're just gonna do a potted plant here, right? We're gonna apply some very, very, very basic gray shading to this thing. No color at all. Just very, very, very basic. Okay, let's see what we can make happen. I'm gonna apply what Mao was posting about. So the idea is that if contextually we know that this is a plant, then our brains should make it green once we apply something like a red layer to it, right? So let's see. Let's leave it there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a new layer. I'm gonna move these under here. This one I'm gonna put in darken mode. I'm just gonna add a little bit more of shading to one side of it. Gonna give it a little bit more character in the lighting department. Nothing too. We're also gonna give it some highlights, right? Let's give it some highlights. So far, no color at all, right? So far. Okay. Now, we got this. So what happens? Oops. Undo that. Okay, so let's actually just fuse all of that. And we're gonna apply a solid color layer around here. Right? Let's say that bright. We're gonna make it hard light. Well, that's very hard indeed. Okay, what happens if we make it color? And then we... Okay, what happens when we... Okay, wait. Okay, what happens if I grab this, grab here in channels, that would be the whites, and we... I think the image should have color and then apply the other steps. like green on the leaves, and then a warm color on the pot. Okay, let's try that. Wait. Let's see. I'm gonna just color it. Let's do a very simple coloring here. Just apply. Using soft light and then we're going to apply kind of terracotta pot. There we go. And let's add, let's actually duplicate that color layer and make it multiply, lower the opacity on that. We're getting a kind of nice bright color there. And then we add that one. Okay, wait, and we're gonna put this one in hard light. Now, it does actually tend to what happens if we adjust this color? Let's see. Look at that. Look at that. Let's see. What color are we getting here? Of course that one is red. And here, we're still red. Look at that. We're still red here. But it is reading green. Wouldn't you agree? It is reading green. And this one reads red. Okay. Let's see what other, let's see, overlay. Okay, but this one does have green. I'm pretty sure this one has green. No. No, this is not green. Like, none of this is green still. Look at this one. Look at the greens we're getting from this one. And all it's going is orange and yellow. Look at this one. Sabrina! Hello, beautiful! Like, we got the very intense reds here, but look, this is reading green, but it's no green here at all. And this is overlay. Let's try soft light. Soft light looks about this. Oh, no, because that's not the layer. Okay, let's try soft light. Okay, this one pushes us up to yellow. It's dangerously, dangerously close to the green. Way closer than I want it to be. I still don't have any green in the image, though. I mean, look at that. There's still no green in this image. See that? And that is a lively... Like, that is green. That is decidedly green. That is in soft light. And that is very, very green. But there's no green. Look at the color. Look at the color picker here. We're going up to yellow. But no green. Now, if we put it in hard light, it gives us greenish. But it stays more in the red, right? Like, it stays more in the color that we want it to stay. Now, what if we were to lower the saturation on this one? Could we get greener? Okay, if we lower the saturation, it does go up to yellow. That is with hard light. Okay, so what if we make it like here? No, maybe there. What about that? And look at that. It's keeping... Okay, it goes up to yellow. It is taking me to yellow. Oh, no. Okay, wait. It did get green at one point. There. See, it gets green. Okay, it gets green. So I don't want hard light. We want... Okay, what about soft light? Oh, yeah, soft light goes to green. So we need... more saturated color. And that one keeps me in oranges. And that looks very green. Let me see what Mal did. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, so this one from Mao. Wait, what? Where is it? Where's the image? Like, it's here in the navigator. Where'd it go? Wait, what? Where is the... Where'd it go? Okay, wait. Where the hell? Ah, here it is. Okay. And wait, and where's my image? The one I'm experimenting with. Oh, okay, here it is. I'm just gonna pin them up here. Okay, so this is so here we have blues, and still blue. Okay, so what you did was you saturated the colors of the base image. Let's try that here. Okay, so we're gonna grab this image that we have here, and we're gonna saturate it. Okay. Really saturate that. Then we're gonna apply hard light here. And that hard light, let's see what happens if we make it a little bit lighter. Like there. And yeah, look at that. Look at that. It is decidedly not green at all. See, there's no green. There's no green there. Okay, so let's experiment a little bit with the saturation of the layer that we have in hard light. Like, what happens if we bring it... Oh, look at that. Look at that green. That's giving me, like, a deep, interesting green. But it does... Okay, so it does take it up to yellow. And I don't want to go that far. So if we put it up here... What happens if we put it up there? It does... Okay, what about if we push it more towards... What happens with other colors? Like, if I go up to a very red, like pure red, suddenly it's very green. Like look at that. Like, it's very green. Does the pot turn green if I... Okay, let's see what happens if I make that pot green. I'm gonna add hue and saturation. See what turns that pot green. There. I'm gonna turn that pot green. Wait. Okay, and then when I activate that, the pot becomes brown. Okay, does the pot turn green if you have it set to green? I meant just the green hard light on top of the brown pot. Okay, let's see. In this case, if I put a green filter on it, the pot turns reddish. Kind of turns orange. You see? But look at that. If I put like in this case. Okay. Look at that. We're getting like a really bright green. Now it is taking me to yellow, and what I would want is I want it to not take me so yellow. So let's look at the other options we have. Okay, no, this one made it green. Okay. Yeah, this one made it green. Okay, linear light. Linear light is keeping it a little bit more within the oranges. What about overlay? Overlay was... Oh, wait. This one shouldn't be overlay. What if we make it overlay? Okay, that's just green. That is just green. Okay, wait. Here's without anything. Right. Let's see what happens when we make it... Okay, color, hue, that doesn't do anything. What about this one? Hey, Yuki. How are you? Okay, yeah, this one is going too much into the yellow and greens. And then if we go up here... Wait, I'm gonna... There we go. Okay, this one still has no green, and it's keeping it very much in, like, away from the green. Like, we're not going... Like, the most we're going is up to yellow. Like, that's the most we're going, up to yellow. Huh. But here's the thing. We'd have to start off from the image having the original colors. Now, what would happen if I take away those colors? What happens if I make it that and then do this? Then it doesn't look green. Right? So Herman! Hello! How are you? It's been a long time, man. How have you been? We're doing a little color experiment today, Herman. We're trying to achieve color without using that color by using gray and the opposite color. So far we've achieved, in this case, this image has no green in it. Right? Like we have oranges and yellows, but no green. So it's just... But then there's no gray. Right? There's no gray in there. So what if we were to go back to this part of the experiment, where we have just a potted plant, okay, but wait. What if we just take the potted plant that we have there, and what we do is we remove the Like we remove the white from it, right? Okay. Then we make that gray into... Okay, I'm gonna grab this, duplicate it there. Okay, I'm gonna grab that, bam. Okay, and then we're gonna take gray and put it underneath that. Right, so like we got this, and we're gonna put this neutral gray underneath it. This we're gonna put in multiply mode. What if we duplicate it again? Okay, so far, we're getting the best results from just making the image fully colored, very heavy saturated. Like just... I'm sorry. Just the... Wow. Okay. Whoa. Just a very heavily saturated image. Then applying the hard light filter on it, and it eliminates the green that we had in this case. But now, according to that, if we took this image, pasted it and inverted it, and gave it that hard light filter, but made the color the opposite color, like green, like we would get... Look at this. Okay, is there actually... Okay, yeah, there is pink in that image. Okay, and blue, and... Huh. Okay, so inverting the thing doesn't really do much. But we do manage this one without green. Now, the experiment we were doing at the beginning, let's try that again. It's gonna go here. Like, let's just fill this in, and we're just gonna do the experiment we were doing at the beginning, where we're gonna make... Let's make a random shape, right? Like, I'm just gonna make a random shape here. I don't know what it is. It looks kind of like a vibrator, but I don't think YouTube would be okay with me drawing vibrators on the stream. So let's say it's not a vibrator. It is totally not a vibrator. It is not a vibrator. Well, I think you're being very square phobic, Sabrina. I think you're being very, very square phobic. But anyway, just gonna... Because the thing is, the strawberry image has the context, right? Like, the strawberry image has the context of being a strawberry. So what happens when we remove that context and just make a random shape, right? Like, what happens once we remove that context? Okay, let's say we got this right here. Okay, it's nothing in particular. Nobody's looking at this and thinking, "Oh, this is like we already determined that it's not a vibrator." So, you know, whatever it is, it is. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the soft color filter. I'm going to grab this one here and we're going to add it in hard light. Okay. Maybe a little bit. Let's try there. And then we're going to remove the light parts from it. And look, they do get immediately warmer. See that? Now, I wouldn't go as far as saying that they become red, but they do get warm. Because the thing is, this technique, like this technique right here, let me put this over here. Okay. So the thing with this technique is that it does look green, right? Like, look at this. This image right here does not have green, right? It doesn't have green. But it does require making the image first, right? Like, I had to have a green plant first. Then I apply the color with hard light effect. Now it has no green, but still reads as green, right? But I did have to make this first and then apply the hard light filter on it, which is like, okay, but what's the point if I'm going to have to color it anyway? Right? But in this case, if we just do this, right? Like if we just do this and then we simply add the grays, the image now reads like there's another color there, right? And if I manipulate this hard light, let's see what effects we can get. Like, it does get warm. Okay, I think I'm ready to experiment. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a character. I'm going to take an hour to do that. I remembered I saw a TikTok explaining that every color has a value. And in our brains it reads as the color even if it's in grayscale. So it's something more of a values thing in our brain. Let's see. What happens if we... do this? Gonna really play in that white difference there. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Just gonna grab all this. We're gonna delete that. And I'm gonna draw a character. Let me see how big an image I got. I'm gonna do it just does the color get more warm the more saturated your other color is? Or does it work better when it's muted? Okay, wait. Let's actually do a little bit of a quick experiment here. Okay. Just gonna grab okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna grab... I'm gonna do this with... Let's do this with greenish blue. Okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab different strips of greenish blue. Oh, wait, I put this on the wrong layer. Okay. There we go. So we're gonna grab different strips of greenish blue. No, actually, let's make them thicker so that they read better, right? Okay. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna make, okay, so this one is that. This one, let's make much more saturated here. Much more. And maybe a little bit darker and a little bit bluer. Oh, okay, that's too much. Let's keep it within the greenish blue. Move it over here and here. Bam. This one, let's make it like in the perfect center. This one will make it up here but saturated. Okay, up here and saturated. Let's say there. Okay, and this one will make dark like that. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to grab here and we're going to make a... We're going to grab the 50% gray. Right? Like just 50% gray. This is the true neutral gray, right? We're just going to do that, that, and that. Right? Okay, now, here's the thing. We should be able to grab this one underneath and change the hue. See what happens. Okay, wait. Let's, What happens if we go in the opposite direction? Seems to work better here. Okay, now what happens if we go with a lighter gray? Oh wow, look at that one. Look at that light gray. It really does, like that lighter gray really does kind of start to read very warm. Like look at this one. Look at these two. This one and this one. Like these two look very warm, and these are the grays that are in the middle and down here. Even this one also looks so like this gray right here, kind of like on the upper portion. This one looks really warm. See that? Especially in the saturated, like here, it looks just. It's like just really. Look at that. See that here? It really looks like I'm just painting with let me just fill it in with that. I'm gonna fill it in with that. I'm actually gonna bring it here. Let's see what happens when I bring it there. Okay. Now we're just gonna grab this gray, and let's see. I'm just gonna paint something there. Look at that. It really looks like I'm painting with a skin tone, right? Like look at that. It does not feel like I'm painting with gray at all. Okay, now what happens when we add a darker version of this, like here? Then we apply a little bit. It does feel like I'm painting with like skin tones, doesn't it? And at no moment am I applying skin to this. Like, at no moment am I grabbing anything even remotely close to a skin color. See that? Like, nothing even... Yeah, it's not comfortable to look at. Like, yeah, okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that it's not comfortable to look at. But there is no skin tone at all in this image. So what happens if we lower the saturation a little bit? Like, how much would it tolerate? Like, I'm lowering the saturation of the background, and it still looks like I applied a skin tone. That's very much more tolerable. And there's skill... I mean, look at that. Still, no warm colors in the image. See that? It does not at any moment go out from... Is our brain trying to compensate with the opposite color or something? Well, what's happening is that the gray, since it's neutral, but surrounded by the cold greenish blue, by the turquoise in this case, then the gray does become warm, like opposite the cold. Now we could invert this image. We could invert this image, and we should get the opposite effect, right? Like in this one, the gray. Well, actually, we should be able to do it with just switching over this one. But the thing is, I did paint blue on top of it, but it becomes... See that? So basically, we just use the opposite color of... Basically, if we paint with the opposite color of what we're looking for, our brains will push the gray towards that color. So now, let's try something. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna start with let's go with okay, I'm gonna start here. With just a drawing, right? We're gonna draw a character. Okay, so for those of you new here, what we're doing today is called an art challenge. And the idea of the art challenge is that we set up a challenge, and everybody that's watching can participate, right? So everybody that's watching is invited to participate and create your own image, and then you can post it in the Discord. If you need a link to the Discord, I will gladly provide one. So then okay, wait. Where's the Discord? Okay. So yeah, there's a link to the Discord in the chat room. And so all you do is you go into the art section of the Discord and you post your image there. And today's art challenge is that we are only going to paint using gray and one color. But the idea isn't just to paint using gray and one color. The idea is to achieve the opposite color, right? Like that's what we're looking for here. We're looking to achieve the opposite color. So we did about an hour of experimentation, kind of looking for what kind of result we could get here. And now that we are sort of satisfied with the experiment that we're done, I want to see what happens when I apply it to an actual image of a character, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go with, well, in my case, I'm going to go with a Dragonkin. And I'm going to see if I can make him read as green without using green, right? And we're going to use the opposite color to see how he reads. But of course, I want to see if I can apply it to you know, like an actually detailed image, you know, something that I actually would paint, such. So, who's participating in today's challenge? Awesome. Oh yeah, Mo, you're actually helping me figure it out. You're actually helping me figure it out. I might be able to do a quick something in the last hour, but I have a mini project due here in a bit. Well, I hope you can. Oh, you would love to, but you're working and listening to me? Well, hey, I mean, I'm glad you could join us. I'm glad you could join us. Can you tell us what you're up to, Ketaban? Well, maybe next time, Felix. Designing, not illustrating this time. Oh, okay. Well, but I mean that's not bad, is it? Or do you no longer enjoy design? Because I don't. I don't, but I know a lot of people still do. Okay. It's been a while since I've drawn a cool dragon. kind of channeling. Wow, okay, channeling my inner Ali Briggs here. Anyone watch any good movies this week? Okay, what are the rules for the challenge? The rules for the challenge is that you can only use one color and gray. That's it. Like, you can only use one color and gray. That's it. That's the rule. Very experimental. Have we watched any good movies this week? Well, we saw Braveheart at the beginning of the week. Because Pew hadn't watched Braveheart, so we saw it. And what else did we watch? Last night we wanted to watch Point Break, but Amazon's version of Point Break is in Spanish, and it didn't have English, and it was intolerable because, like, right from the beginning they pronounced Keanu as Keanu. Like, Keanu Reeves, and then when they said Patrick Swayze, they said Patrick Swayze. And we're like, oh, no, we can't watch that. we can't watch that. Whoa, sorry. Getting a call. Give me a sec, please. Hello. Hello? Hello? Okay. So yeah, we couldn't watch Point Break even though we wanted to. So we ended up watching Beetlejuice last night, which we've both seen and we both love. So, you know, that's not really anything to get excited about. You know, we both know and love Beetlejuice, so. Hit a stride with what, Nightcal? Okay, so if my deduction is correct, if I just completely do this in grayscale, I should be able to get the effect I'm looking for. He looks like a cow dragon, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna focus too much on that. But he does kind of look like a cow dragon. Wow, I don't remember if I've actually seen Hot Shots 2. I know I've seen Hot Shots 1. Haven't seen it since I was a teenager though, but I don't remember if I've seen Hot Shots 2. Okay, let's see. Are we gonna get the results we want? What else did we watch? Did we? Oh no, she's on the phone. I don't know what else we watched this week. We watched Braveheart, and I think that was it. Oh yeah, yeah. We've been watching while we work. So Hunger Games. We watched Hunger Games, and we've also been watching Emily in Paris. Which is like not a show I would watch on my own, but Pew plays it and it's just impossible not to get into. Like it just sucks you in. So like I would never play it of my own volition, but then you end up getting sucked into it. And the music is so good in that series. So, you know, there's also that. It's got excellent music. Okay, wait. We don't need this color wheel here right now. So what about you guys? What have you been watching this week? I have some fun news, but it's more than stuff. He got a new job lined up in Minnesota. The kicker is... Okay, now I'm intrigued. I watched 50 minutes of She's the Man with Amanda Bynes and a very young Channing Tatum. Must know if she achieves her goal, but I haven't had the time to continue. Well, unless you already know, do avoid Googling Amanda Bynes. I would not suggest Googling Amanda Bynes. Unless you already know how that story ends, in which case, oh well. It's for less hours per week, 25% more pay than he is at currently, and a bonus that is equivalent to my entire year salary. It feels so outlandish, and it shocked Dan when they offered it. So now you have a sugar daddy. uh, well, yes. My congratulations to Dan. And you. I mean, you've been working that Dan case for years, like ever since I've known you. So you. I'm glad it finally worked out. Now you finally got that sugar daddy you've always wanted. Yeah, finally. Yeah, I'd do the neck swivel, but I can't. But Pew does an excellent neck swivel. Neck swivel? Yeah, Pew does an excellent neck swivel. I can't. Unfortunately, I never learned. But yeah, Pew does an excellent one. I was listening out on the Zoom meeting where they offered it, and when they said the bonus, Dan was laughing so hard not to show, trying so hard not to show shock on his face, and he said, "Oh, thank you. I'll definitely think about it." Dan the man, trying to play hard to get. Oh, hard to get and stuff. Please tell me that when you leave to go back to live in Minnesota, you're gonna do a Beverly Hillbillies kind of reenactment with your car and stuff, right? Like just because you're going, well, in the Beverly Hillbillies are going to California to live, the big life, but in this case you're kind of going in the opposite direction, right? To Minnesota to live the big life. But you gotta do a Beverly Hillbillies. Like, you get in the car, strap the chair up on the car, you sit there. Man, if I could play that song right now, I would. But I can't, so I won't. So that's the end of that. Or maybe you can do like is it the Jeffersons? We'll be moving on up to the east side, to the east side. And technically this is the east side compared to where you are. So, you In any case, yes. Or congratulations to Dan. That's awesome. Okay. I like this Dragonkin. He's looking pretty cool. Oh, that's just the daily life of an artist. Rethinking if being an artist was the best choice is the daily life of an artist. That's just the way. You like his teeth? I like to think that you are saying it in like a super like creepy sort of serial killer way. Like I like his teeth. He has a purty mouth and um I'm not gonna deny I sometimes do have those thoughts. Sabrina, but then I think a lot about job satisfaction, right? Like, maybe I don't make as much money as a lot of other professions, but um I get to spend my like like I just spent my morning drawing a bunch of centaur-like people attacking a bunch of humans in the future. And then I had to draw a bunch of wolf people playing musical instruments. Like it's just it's a fascinating life that we live. Maybe not filled with all the riches, but oh yeah, and that part of being a veterinarian makes it just 100% impossible that I could ever be a veterinarian. It's not even about like sometimes having to kill animals, although I would definitely not be able to do that. But beyond that, I'm not even able to give my pets a pill. Like I feel bad when I have to give them a pill. Like let alone like sacrifice an animal that needs it. I'm not even able to give them a pill without feeling bad. Without feeling like I'm some sort of monster. Like when the vet has to come and check on our cats, and so the cats hide, and it becomes my job to drag them out of where they're hiding so that the vet can see them. Like I feel so bad. Like you can ask Pew because Pew has to deal with me. Like I have to deal with the cats, but Pew has to deal with me, and I just feel like bad. Like I feel like I am the worst human being that ever existed. Like oh, you need me to drag him out of his hiding place? Can't you just look at him from where he is. Like, do you really need the cat in order to check the cat? Like, what if you just peek under the bed and check the cat from there? What's a job I think would be fun? Obviously, I'm guessing other than my job. Sugar baby. Well, you're gonna have to tell us what that's like, Sabrina. I think I could enjoy being an architect. I think I could enjoy being an architect. I think let's see, what else would I enjoy? You want to be a hamburger tester. Okay. Yeah. Well, actually, you could be like that guy from here, Mao Tulio. Hate that guy, but you could be him. A board game store owner. Okay. Let's see. What job would I enjoy that isn't what I do? Yeah, the guy that like every now and then does like a Tulio recomienda, and so he chooses like a bunch of restaurants to participate in some sort of weird food war. Yeah, that guy. I don't like him. QA tester for games. Oh, that's not a good job. That is like trust me, that is not a good job. QA test. No, QA testing in video games is one of the most ungrateful jobs you can get. First of all, it's not fun. First of all, it's not fun because when you QA test a game, you're not playing it the way the game is supposed to be played and be enjoyed. You're playing it to find out what's wrong with it. So QA testers have a list of tasks, right? A lot of times QA testers have a list of tasks of what they have to do. And depending on the size of the QA team, your task can be like just, in this part of the level, I don't know, go push all the walls or something like that, right? Like it's not like like just play the game and see what happens. Like no. You have to while you play, you have to take notes. Like, you like if you find a bug in the game, you have to take notes on what that bug was. So, I mean, just start with that you're playing the game and taking notes while you're playing it. You have tasks assigned, like, okay, go push all the walls or go open the doors until one of them breaks or something like that. It's not well paid. And normally video game developers do not give a shit about QA testers. They need them. They definitely need them. But they don't really appreciate them. And the worst part is in a small company, but I mean, you go through this all the time. In a small company, in an indie company, QA tester becomes the de facto I mean, the employees of the company become the QA testers. But the activity wasn't, hey, tell me what job you think would be awesome and I'll ruin it for you. That wasn't really our intention here. Okay. Wait, I'm gonna do a little bit more lighting on this. Nika, hello. Oh, I haven't seen you in ages, Nika. How you doing? And yes, I did move to YouTube. In effect, I did. I decided to move here where there's greener pastures. Nah, things are going well. Can't really complain. It's a nice, fun Friday afternoon. We're doing an art challenge, and honestly, I'm having a lot of fun with it. And yeah, so what are you up to? How come I decided to switch to YouTube? Several reasons. The main reasons are because I want to work on the YouTube channel, and so I would rather put more energy into the YouTube channel than divide my energy in between Twitch and YouTube. Second, because as an artist, I wasn't really seeing any kind of, like, as an art streamer, I wasn't really seeing any kind of future on Twitch. But I was kind of getting the impression that Twitch really isn't for art, or at least not anymore, or at least not kind of the way it used to be. So yeah, I kind of got that, impression that, yeah, I'm not gonna go anywhere as an artist on Twitch. And finally, because I know what I would have to do to be successful on Twitch, and I just don't want to do that. So yeah, I prefer a place like YouTube where it's, it might be more competitive. There might be a lot more people. YouTube isn't a niche little site, but at least I know that here I can just focus on what it is that I actually do and not on a bunch of stuff that I don't want to do. So yeah, what about you? What have you been up to? Ooh. I've been job searching currently. Freelancing has been getting awfully dry, so I'm looking for some stability. Oh, okay. What are you looking for work in? Just been sending things out for anything creative that I could remotely fit into. But I'm looking into potentially building a UI portfolio. Well, UI is very sought after work. Whenever I see like job offers and stuff like that, I see so many for UI artists. But that's definitely not a bad choice at all. UI has a lot of work potential. They're always looking for UI artists. That and technical artists. That and technical artists are always very, very sought after. And they're kind of some of the least saturated aspects of art when it comes to the entertainment industry, right? Like, there's millions and millions of people that want to be concept artists, but, when you go into UI art, there's a lot less. So and besides, you have such brilliant work. Pretty sure you'll find something. Congratulations on the Imagine FX gig. Like, you gotta tell me how you got that. Like, I had some good envy when I saw that. When I saw you in Imagine FX magazine. That was like some good envy. You gotta tell me how you got that. That was amazing. I got reached out to by the author of the articles, so I was nothing I specifically did. Oh yeah, wow, I was so impressed. That was amazing. Congratulations on that. Yeah, I was thinking exactly that. A bucket list item. That is definitely one you can scratch off your list. Okay, wait. I think we're ready to apply the color. So let's see if we can get the effect. Okay, let's see what happens now. So I'm gonna yeah, let's see. I'm gonna come here and we're gonna start adding that light. Okay, wait, we need to add a grayer gray. But it's not really going into the color I would hope it would. Maybe, okay, let's saturate it, lighten it a little bit more. See what happens then. It's not... Okay, it's not giving me... Giving me green, though. Oh, thank you. Oh, I haven't saved. I haven't saved at all. Okay, wait. Let me save. Here we go. Gray color. Okay. There we go. Okay. It's not giving me green at all, though. And that's not... Okay, wait. What happens if we turn it into the blue that we were using before? Does it become warm? Wait, let me see. Okay, here we are in the... Okay, so what happens if I grab this? I'm gonna bring it here, paste it, and give it a saturation. Oh, wow, that's way more saturated than I thought. Okay, and what happens then when we... Okay, wait. Let's see, orange. Okay, there we go. Let's see how that goes. We can always adjust later on. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to... No, I think we just have to put that on normal so it is actually gray. Okay, wait. Let's see. Ah, wait, I know what to do. Just gonna remove that, move this, and see where it starts reading as green. That's it. That's all I need to do. Okay, which one of... Okay, where is it gonna start reading as green? Okay, there it reads kind of as blue. Okay, there we got to green, so... what if we take it all the way over here, maybe lighten it up a little bit? Wait. Okay, so here we have it reading... Okay, wait. Here we have it reading as the warm gray, right? So... Oh, shit, I put that on where I wasn't supposed to. Okay. So here we have it reading as the warm gray, right? Like we... The one that's going to look like we did it with... Okay. So when we take this and apply hard light there and reactivate this, we are getting that. And so then when we activate these and we place this... Okay, it is giving us warm, right? Like it is giving us the warm color. So then, okay, if we put this one in saturation, oh wow, that's acid. Let's see. Okay. Wait, okay, so which one of these is gonna read green? That acid magenta, let's see. Hey, if we have to risk it with Okay, wait. I got an idea. I'm going to grab... Yes, I know. Thank you. I'm gonna put that there. Then here, I'm gonna fill that with... Well, that didn't really fill much at all. Okay, wait. Drag that down there. Okay, that should give us a very nice... Okay. Let's see what happens. Let's continue the experiment. The thing is, since it's all gray, all we would really need to do is simply adjust the color in the background. No, but wait, let's not Okay, we have 1 hour left. I have to keep it up there. Let's do a little proof of concept here in the eye. I'm gonna use the reds to darken up certain areas. Now, this is still within the reds, right? But the thing is, we have to saturate them quite a bit. Then come up here. Even up here. Really get that kind of light in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to... No, wait. I just made a mistake there. Okay, because the thing is, I can change the color. I kind of find it a lot more acceptable with the orange. But it doesn't look as green. Okay. Let's stay the course. Let's stay the course and see what happens, right? That's the whole idea of the experiment, right? We can't like cancel out the experiment simply because it might not work. That's not the point. You know, we are doing this for science after all. What I'm doing is that every now and then I press Ctrl Shift U, and that desaturates the image. Thank you, Pew. Yeah. I got mango. Lula, hello. How are you? How's your Friday afternoon going? Well, be sure to try it with lemon. Remember? You're beginning your shift. Oh, you're at work. Well, we're doing a very fun experiment today. We have an art challenge And the idea of today's art challenge is that we are painting with just one color and gray. And the idea is that we're trying to achieve the opposite color by painting with gray and that initial color. So in this case, I'm aiming for green. I can't quite say I'm achieving green yet, but you know, we're not done. So but the color is looking interesting. Like, it might not be looking green, but it is looking interesting. So, I mean, there is that. Yeah, I think maybe what happens, Mao, is that I'm not gonna get it to look. Sorry. I don't think I'm gonna get it to read like super green. I just went all Ruby Rod on you. Super green. So yeah, I'm probably not gonna get it to read super green, but I can get it to read green-ish. So those of you that are participating in today's art challenge, what colors are you going for? It is starting to look a little bit greener, though. It's a lot of fun. This was, I think this was Sabrina's idea, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Either Sabrina or Mao. It's one of theirs ideas. Uh, and it is very interesting to do, right? Like, it's definitely very, very interesting to do. What did I just do? Okay, wait. I think last stream I was explaining the phenomenon. And showing some photographic examples. And from there it kind of went in that territory. Let's zoom out a little bit. And so we're gonna, it's very, very experimental, that's for sure. But yeah, the idea is achieve a color without using that color. Oh, this all came from Night Cow asking a question? Oh, yes, I remember. Let us not take away credit from Night Cow. Have I abandoned Clip Studio Paint? For now, yes. I have. Mm, I I got a new computer. Um I got a new computer and I could not get Clip Studio Paint to get back to the way I had it before. So I had a lot of work to do that weekend. And I had already spent like most of my weekend sort of setting up the new computer. And I was already on a very, very tight deadline because when I got sent the new computer, they forgot to send the keyboard. So I had to spend like a day setting up the computer, but I didn't really have like the possibility of working because I didn't have a keyboard for the new computer, so I had to like kind of jump in between one computer and the other. Anyway, towards the end I was like very, very, very tight on time. And then when I finally managed to sit down to work and do the stuff I needed to do, it turned out that Clip Studio Paint was just not doing what I needed it to. So at that point, I just went, you know, like, let's see if Photoshop is working. And the thing is, it was like a very stressful kind of moment because the client I was working for is a very, very demanding client, right? And the client had just told me that very same weekend, like, hey, you know, we need you to kind of work faster, right? Like the client was kind of feeling that maybe I was taking a little bit too long with the art that I was making for them. So, you know, they had just told me like we need you to work faster, and I was kind of already behind on that weekend. So what happened was that when I moved over to the new computer, I totally forgot to save my old CSP brushes. I just forgot. So what happened then was that I couldn't get like that pencil feeling that I wanted from Clip Studio Paint. But But since I teach Photoshop at the university, I normally have like all my Photoshop brushes and all that kind of stuff very, very, very much in like on my website, on servers, all that kind of stuff, because I'm constantly, sharing brushes with my students and stuff like that in Photoshop, because that's what I teach at the university. So while I did not have my Clip Studio Paint brushes, I did have my Photoshop brushes like very, very much handy. So I just kind of said, okay, let's see what Photoshop is behaving like, and Photoshop was behaving wonderfully. So yeah, I did that. And indeed, I do want to kind of experiment a little bit with Clip Studio Paint again, because I'm intrigued about Clip Studio Paint 2. But after I was kind of forced to go back into Photoshop, I kind of got used to it again. And the thing is, I still need Photoshop even when I work in Clip Studio Paint, right? Like, all my clients want all their stuff in Photoshop. Like, I can't send Clip Studio Paint files to my clients and that kind of stuff. So it just kind of made sense. Like, Clip Studio Paint, you were fun while we were there, but once you didn't work and I went back to Photoshop, it just made more sense. So yeah. Okay. Oh no, I would have totally stayed. I would have totally stayed in Clip Studio Paint if it had not been for that situation, right? Like, I would have stayed. But yeah, that's just kind of the way things happen. So right now I'm using a curves layer so that when I start playing around with the color underneath, I don't have to worry about, where I added shadows or stuff like that. It will just respect whatever I did. Let's see if it works. If am I planning to remake brushes? Funny you should ask that. Just this morning, I was here working and taking one of my many breaks. And I think it was on Instagram or something. I saw an offer for a brush pack. And, I enjoy occasionally getting a brush pack and kind of checking it out, seeing what it's about, all that kind of stuff. And so I go and check out the brush pack, and yeah, the guy's artwork looks decent enough. I'm like, oh, okay, this guy might have an interesting brush pack for me to check out, stuff like that. But it's not free. Now, I always tell all my students, buying brushes is for what's the word I want here? Chumps. Chumps is the word I wanted. Buying brushes is for chumps, right? Like, it's so easy to make a brush in Photoshop and stuff like that, that really paying for a brush is ridiculous, unless we're talking about like a very, very cheap brush that is very, very good. So like, oh, okay, you know, I'll pay $1 for the brush package. Why not? You know, give the artist a little bit, you know, for their work and stuff like that. But I go and I look at the brush package that this guy is selling, and he was asking $55 for a brush pack. $55. And that just made me go, oh, okay. I think it's kind of scummy. I don't want to accuse anybody of being a scammer, but I think it's a little bit scummy to sell a brush pack for $55, considering, like, you know, the audience, you know, the artists are not exactly the people with the most money in the world, and I especially don't like it because there's so many beginner artists out there that think that there's so many beginner artists out there that think that the secret is in the brushes. So there's so many beginner artists out there that are going to be buying brush packs thinking that that's going to make them better artists. And everybody here, like, we all know that's not true. We all know that's not how it works. But there's so many people out there that really, really, really think that a brush pack is the secret, right? Was it at least a lot of brushes in there? I honestly couldn't see how many it was, or maybe I didn't check, or what. But I was just kind of like, at the moment I saw it was $55, I was like, oh, I'm out. But at the same time, I was like, okay, look, I'm not gonna make a brush pack for $55. I find that to be very, very questionable. But at the same time, okay, like maybe a cheap brush pack, like an actually cheap brush pack for people, like not $55, but if somebody wants to buy a brush pack, like, you know, for a couple of bucks, that would be. No, I agree with that, Nika, but I think that when you do it, because, see, my problem with that is that when you do it with that, okay, I don't see any problem with an artist charging a lot of money for their art or for their product. At the end, like, I don't see any problem with that. I mean, I work, I have my rates, and I don't have the highest rates in the industry for sure, but I know I don't have the cheapest either. You know, I've worked, I have a portfolio, I have my experience, I charge what I charge, and I've worked my way to be able to charge what I'm worth. Thank you, Mal. But when you sell a brush package, you're selling it to other artists. So at this point, you're not making your money off of your work, just charging what you're worth and, I don't know, sticking it to the man or something. Like, no, you're charging to other artists. And that's where I might start having a problem with it, because okay, saturation is not going to move anything, because I already put this one there to adjust the saturation. Okay, wait. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to find the color that gives me the most color in the gray. Right? So I'm trying to find the color that will give me the most color in the gray. So this is the one we got. That there is... No, but we can't do that. Okay. Okay, wait. So let's make it a little bit more magenta, like there. Any advice on art burnout? Sure. We are full-on experts in art burnout here. I mean, no joke. No joke. We definitely deal with art burnout here. There are several things I could say about art burnout. Sorry. On my way. How about that? When it comes to art burnout, the first thing I would say is that you definitely want to, first of all, think about the why. And what I mean with that is, a lot of times we already know what's going on, right? Like, I'll never forget this kind of joke I read one time that was like a person talking to their brain, like wondering, like, oh, I wonder, like, why do I feel so bad, right? Like, why do I feel like shit? And then the brain was saying, like, well, because you don't sleep, you only drink coffee, and you haven't eaten a vegetable, like, in 10 years. And then the person is saying, like, guess we'll never know. And so a lot of times, if we're just honest with ourselves, we know what's wrong. Like, we just don't want to admit it, right? But a lot of times we do know what's wrong. A lot of times we do pretty much have the information we need to figure out what's wrong with us. So that's the first thing with art burnout, and the first thing I would say is definitely, okay, how honest are you being with yourself, right? Like, do you already know what's going on? Because a lot of times we do. And we just don't want to accept it, because a lot of times we just don't want to change anything. Famine, hello! A lot of times we just don't want to change anything, right? And so there's so many things that definitely are gonna like start playing like are definite factors in that. Like, okay, like what Mao says, right? Like, okay, are you eating well? Are you exercising? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you... But let's just say that you are, you know, that everything's going well. And well, I mean, everything is going well in the sense that, yeah, you are eating well, you are getting enough sleep, you are exercising, all these things, and you're still feeling burned out. Well, being burned out is normally just a product of um, too much of one thing, right? Like maybe you you've been working too much in one thing, or maybe you've been subject to one kind of situation for too long, right? Like you're just dealing with deadlines all the time and you're always behind and you haven't been able to take a break and all that kind of stuff. A lot of times it can be a little bit more subtle. Like maybe at a certain point you're just sick of what you're doing, right? Like maybe you because we don't always, like, just because we have a job that we like doesn't mean that we like every single part of it, right? Placing too many things upon my art, my happiness, my success, my self-worth, and I have to diversify. Well, that is, yeah, I can see how that could become a problem in that sense. So, like, a lot of times it's like, okay, are you having to deal too much with the parts of the work? Like maybe you enjoy the work, but maybe right now you're not doing something that you enjoy, and that kind of starts to generate that. To me, normally what burns me out is because it took me a very long time, and I still struggle with it. Like keep in mind that this isn't something I understand it, but it doesn't mean that I have no problems with it anymore. And one of the things that happened to me is that you have to understand that, like, your brain, I hate it when people say the brain is a muscle, because it's scientifically inaccurate, right? Like, the brain is not a muscle, the end. But that, we do need kind of like to give, we do need kind of to give the brain time to recover from when we are using it, right? So like, one of the things that would happen to me is that I love my job. I love doing what I do. I love illustrating fantasy novels and games and all that kind of stuff. But I would kind of find that, like, okay, I would be working all weekend. I mean, this still happens, by the way. I haven't fixed this. But I would be working all weekend, and then the week would start, and I would get things done, right? But at the same time, I wouldn't, like, be able to find, like, that moment when I wasn't thinking about art and thinking about that kind of stuff. It was always just 100% of the time doing what I do, right? And it wasn't a matter of physical exhaustion. It was more a matter of, like, yeah, you're not really giving your brain the chance to just kind of do other things, right? So it really kind of helps, and I struggle with this, but it really kind of helps if you have other hobbies, right? Like, if you have other things that you do. Regarding what Nika is saying there, and by the way, for anybody that doesn't know, when we say Nika, it's Ryutsu there in the chat room. But one of the things that happens a lot to us artists is that we have trouble doing anything that isn't art, because we kind of get this idea in our heads that if we're not doing art, it's not okay, right? So I've seen so many artists, including myself, that they just think that they have to be doing art all the time, all the time. I have to do art all the time. And when I'm not working on art, then I should be practicing art. And when I'm not practicing art, then I should be, like it just becomes this constant demand of our own selves to just produce and produce and produce and produce. And so we kind of reach this point where we almost start to resent a little bit, like maybe even in a subconscious way, right? Like we start to resent a little bit the thing that we do, the thing that's supposed to be like our dream and all that kind of stuff. We start to resent it a little bit because we are always on, right? Like we're always in this kind of state of production of art all the time, and we need other things, and not just for mental health, actually for the quality of the art. Like a lot of times we forget that we forget that art feeds off of the other aspects of our lives. So we need other stuff in our life to feed our art. Otherwise, our art becomes very, very stagnant, very, very stale, because we have nothing to feed to it. You also sabotage yourself. Is there any way to fight that? Yeah, I think the first question would be, yeah, you know, how do you sabotage yourself? But I can tell you this. When it comes to self-doubt as an artist, one of the most important things, one of the most useful things that I've learned in my life as an artist is, and I've said this quote so many times. I always forget the name of the person, but I later on found out that it's not actually her quote, so I don't care anymore. She was just kind of paraphrasing another artist, so whatever. But anyway, it goes something like this. My superpower as an artist is that I hate everything I do, but I'm still able to deliver it. Like, I'm still able to show it. And I've always thought that that's like a very kind of interesting sort of a sorry, give me a second here. I always thought that was very, very interesting to me, because basically self-doubt is never gonna go away. Like, as artists, questioning what we do and wondering if what we do is good enough it's basically part of the package. Doubting, questioning, wondering if it's good enough, wondering if I'm good enough of an artist, all that kind of stuff. That's all part of the package, right? And the thing is, we actually don't want to get rid of that. Like, you actually don't want that to go away, because it's very important that we get comfortable being uncomfortable. Nowadays, we're kind of taught this idea of, like, that we need to be comfortable and that we need to be, you know, feel safe and all those kind of things. And sure, we should feel safe, you know, physically and stuff like that. But when it comes to art, we shouldn't. When it comes to art, we should constantly be seeking, like, you know, shaking it up, making ourselves a little bit uncomfortable, seeing, you know, how am I gonna, you know, move things around now, right? Like, what am I gonna do? It's kind of the principle of what we're doing here right now, like with this art challenge and stuff like that. Like, okay, today we're just doing this little experiment. Okay, what's gonna happen when I decide that the way to color an image is by seeking a color by avoiding that color, right? Like how is that going to work and stuff like that. And so the basic idea is that instead of trying to feel comfortable, it's more important to learn to deal with it. And I know that sounds very harsh, but hear me out. It's not about avoiding the feelings of inadequacy, and it's not about avoiding the doubt and that kind of stuff. It's about learning to use it to your advantage, learning to use the feelings of self-doubt so that you can constantly be improving and so that you can constantly be learning. And it's about, okay, well, one piece of advice that I heard one time was that you can't tie, like what one big mistake that a lot of people make is that they tie their productivity to their emotional state, right? So a lot of people are only able to produce when they feel like a certain way, right? Like they have to feel like this certain ideal kind of alignment of planets, and then they can finally produce, right? And the problem with that is that when you tie your productivity to your emotional state, you're not going to be able to kind of depend on it, right? You're going to be you're going to find yourself in far too many situations where you're not going to be able to produce anything. And the problem with that is that it kind of starts to sort of cascade, like spiral or something. And because you feel bad because you're not producing, and since you feel bad, you can't produce. And because you're not producing, now you're getting into trouble because suddenly you're missing deadlines and clients are breathing down your neck, and you're and but that makes you feel worse, so then even less that you can produce and stuff like that. So it's important for us, especially when we do this as a job, to be able to deliver even when things are not okay. And that doesn't mean that we shouldn't solve them when they're not okay. I mean, of course, you gotta, right? Like, you can't just ignore it when things are not okay. But at least you're not going to have the problem that, things are not okay and you can't even work. Like, no, okay, things are not okay, but, at least that's one thing less to worry about. But there is something else. There is something else to say about the feelings of inadequacy and stuff like that. And I don't know if I've told this story to you in class. I know Mao has heard it, and I know that most of the people that follow me here have probably heard it before. But let's repeat it, shall we? Way back. Way back. I was training martial arts. I was training Aikido, which, yes, I know, fake martial art, blah blah blah. Okay, whatever. Anyway, I was training Aikido, and at the end of the class, the sensei sits us down and just flat out tells us, like, you guys are really bad at this. And he just goes, yeah, you guys really suck at this. And we're all like, oh, okay. Hey, sensei, like, what's what's up? What's wrong? What's what's going on? How can we get better? And so he told us, like, no, you guys are always gonna suck at this. Like, you're always gonna be horrible. And so, of course, we're all like, oh, okay, well, great, that's awesome. And so he said, you're always gonna suck at this to me, because I'm your teacher. I've been doing this decades more than you have. So, to me, you suck at this. And to my teacher, I'm even worse. Right? Like, my teacher sees me as even worse because he's been doing it since before I was born. So that's the whole nature of when you're studying, right? Like, you are studying, you're in an environment where people are, first of all, where you're learning, you're faced with a person that knows a lot more than you, and you're in an environment where the whole purpose of the thing is to constantly evaluate and constantly question and constantly trying to see what's wrong, what you can do better, all that kind of stuff. But then he said another thing. He said, but here's the thing. If you guys go just out there, right? Like, just out there into the world in general, you'll find that to the average person out there, you're actually quite amazing at this. You're actually very, very good at it. You might be the worst student in here, but out there, you are, like, incredibly skilled. So the general idea of it is, look, we constantly are comparing ourselves to other artists, right? Like, we're constantly looking at other artists and comparing, right? We're constantly questioning what we do, and we're constantly wondering if we're good enough, but we're always comparing ourselves to other artists. But we don't work for other artists. We work for just, like, we work for regular people that do other things. So while I may not be better than a lot of the artists out there, well, and I know how this sounds, because it sounds really awful, but basically, I might not be the best, but I'm good enough, right? I'm good enough. I'm good enough to I'm good enough to do what I do. I'm good enough to get some results. I might not be the best, but I am good enough. And and a lot of times it helps to kind of see things that way, because it's like, okay, look, I'm I still have a lot of stuff to learn. I still have a lot of stuff to improve. I still have like such a long way to go. But where I am, I'm good. I'm good. I'm getting it done. And there may be a million artists in the world that are better than I am, but hey, for what I'm doing and what I need and stuff like that. I mean, hey, it's working. It's working, and that's pretty much it. And I've always said you don't argue with results. Like you don't argue with results. So if you're getting the results, then because this is something very important to me. Like, I mean, if you're getting the results, then I mean, hey, you're doing something right. Sure, there's always improvement, but if you're getting the results, something is working. Right? Something is working. And if you're not getting the results, well then yeah, you should kind of see what, what's what. Like, yeah, if results are not coming in, then you should definitely question it and see what can be fixed and what can be changed and all that kind of stuff, yeah, of course. But if you are getting the results, then you can afford to relax a little bit. You can afford to say, okay, sure, it's something is working. So just to be clear, like I'm not here promoting mediocrity and stuff like that. I'm just saying that, hey, sometimes you can just kind of say, well, I could do better, but something is working. So, and something is working. Something is definitely working because I mean, think about the situation that most of us are in, where I mean, like, we are okay. I mean, here we are, Friday afternoon, watching, like, having fun, making art together, watching YouTube, stuff like that. I mean, something is going well. Ah, well, I'm glad you find it so. But also to kind of bring it to a closing before we finish today's stream and check out the art that we got from the art challenge and stuff like that. Do remember this. Like, if you want something different, then you got to do something different, right? And a lot of times that is something like with art. We get tired. We get tired of painting the same thing, of doing the same thing, and all that kind of stuff. And we gotta mix it up sometimes, right? So every now and then, we gotta sit down and experiment and try out something different. Like, hey, have you ever painted with watercolors? Go try it out. It's pretty cool. Hey, did you get a new set of markers? Sit down, try them out, see what happens. Do like, hey, I feel like doing art today, but maybe not the typical art I always do. Maybe today I want to build a model. Maybe today I want to try out some 3D art. Maybe today I just want to scribble a little bit and not really do anything serious at all. Mix it up a little bit. We kind of tend to always do the same thing, especially because of our jobs. Kind of, we don't normally get asked to do different things. We normally get asked to do the same thing over and over. So it's up to us to mix it up. Try out something new. Try out a technique you haven't done before. Try out, for example, what we're doing here today. Okay, what happens when we can only paint with one color in gray. Okay, what's gonna happen then? And I am personally okay. I don't think it looks green. I'm not gonna stand here and lie to you guys and tell you like, oh, it totally looks green to me. No, it doesn't. It does not. But damn, I like the way it looks. I like the way it looks a lot. So it might not look green, but I definitely found something here in this art challenge that makes me go, huh, what am I gonna do with this? This is interesting. What can I do with this technique that might change a little bit the way I color? Because maybe I'm a little tired of coloring the same way always. You know, maybe I want to do something a little different with my colors and with my work and stuff like that. Uh, how light do we go in this image? Not very. Like this is like this is as white as we get. It's not very white. Like that is still pretty gray. But it looks very white. But it looks very white. So there is like no color up to here. So if we experiment a little bit. Okay, and what happens when we do that? And let's play around with the color a little bit. Let's see what happens. Let's see. We keep it there and go there. Okay, what happens if we leave it where it was? No, I kind of like it a little bit on that side. And we increase saturation? Does it? Hmm. I don't know. What do you guys think? What happens if we do that and then we remove this? It's not quite. It's not quite as green as I was hoping it would be. It's definitely not as green as I was hoping it would be, but it does. Okay, what happens when we just make it a warm color? Like, what happens if we take it into the orange side of it? Okay, wait. Need to deactivate that one. No, absolutely. We're experimenting here. Join the experiment. Let's see. But. The kid isn't green because he is the same value as his scarf and clothing. The brightest brights are the brightest brights throughout. Would it help if his scarf was overall darker? Let's do that. Okay, wait, what was this? Okay. Okay, wait. Let's do that. Hey. Okay, here we go. Okay. Let's see. So okay, there we go. Now we got ourselves. I think I also see. Aha. Less red on his skin. Your darks would be gray dark. Okay, wait. I think I have an idea how to do that. Check it out. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this. We're gonna just delete all of it. No. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna grab this, and we're going to generate a copy of this, right? And what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to grab channels and grab and eliminate everything that is black from there. Wait. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna eliminate everything that is black from there. So that should have left us with all this that is gray. And we're gonna grab here the character itself. Give this that layer. Okay. So here we have everything that should be gray. And we're gonna give this a saturation layer. But wait a second. Okay. Go. Bam. Okay, saturation. Okay. No. Sorry. So now what I'm doing is I'm making sure that the parts that are supposed to be gray are actually gray and not red. right? Like, oh yeah, it's okay, and so that would make it so that we can actually add that solid color there. Maybe a little bit more. What if we put it around here? Or even around here? No, no. Definitely want it around here. Okay, and what if I were to grab these two and remove them from view? And then... Okay, how gray are we getting this? Well, it's about as gray as it's gonna get. So, I mean, in the end, if we exaggerate with it, definitely starts pushing a little bit more in the other direction. Okay, wait. Oh. Okay, let's see. Wait. What happens if we do this and then we make sure that there's none of it here, none of it here? Okay, and what happens if we bring it in a little bit here? No, actually, it doesn't do anything. So what happens if we bring it in a little bit here? Okay. I think it's about time to call it, though, you know. No. Just wanted to sort of regulate a little bit that right there. When I changed the hue to blue, he read pink. Like there. So if we go to that other side, There is... there's definitely something in there. Bright red makes it the most green. Like, we can super saturate it if we want to. What happens if we do this and then come into camera raw? He looks greenish there for sure. Look at that. He turned blue. He turned blue. I wonder if there's going to end up being blue in the image, though, right? Like... let's see if there's actually blue here. It goes down to purple. No, okay, yeah, that is blue. Yeah, that is blue. Yeah, I'd say he definitely did. It does look pretty cool, but I think maybe what we just need to do is control that saturation a little bit so that it doesn't hurt our eyes. And he does kind of give a very interesting color profile there. Okay. How about there? Okay. Let's see what we got. So, today was a very interesting, very different art challenge because today we were experimenting a little bit, no, not a little bit, a whole lot more on the technical side of things. And the experiment we were doing today was that we were going to use only gray and one color to achieve the opposite of that color. Now, it was fascinating because we started out by analyzing this image, which is an image where there is actually no red in the image, right? Like, this image has no red. And so we did a little bit of experimenting. This was Mao. Mao did this experiment. And Mao did figure out a way to remove the red for the image, but still make it keep the red. In this case, what Mao did was he discovered that if we made the strawberry with really, really saturated colors and then applied a blue filter in hard light mode on top of it, then the strawberry would still look red, even though if we use the color picker, you can see that there's no red here. Now, that was a very, very interesting discovery, but the problem with it was that we would still have to paint the strawberry with the colors and then apply the hard light filter to it. So it's still a very neat trick to have up our sleeves, because it can give you a very, very interesting color read, and you can do some very interesting things with it. But, you know, what we wanted was, hey, we want to have the situation where we kind of do that with colors. So then we did this experiment, and this was one of my favorite results, because we basically painted on top of this blue, and there is no warm colors in this image. This is actually just gray, and it gives off that kind of pink hue. And from there, we decided, okay, let's try it. And this was the image that was made. This image is... Oh, okay, no, not that. Okay. So this was the image that was made, and basically It's we kind of did a little bit of experimentation. I don't think we really got the character to read green at any moment. Not really, but it does give a very interesting color to the gray that we added in the image, and that kind of really was sort of, okay, might not be exactly the result we were looking for, but it is definitely an interesting result nonetheless. So yes, now as far as I know, Mao was along with me for this ride. So let's see what we got there. Oh, an Altered Mage. Okay. Oh, that looks very interesting. Okay, let's see what we got there. Okay, so this first one comes to us from Altered Mage. And so here we go. Come on, paste. Okay, I'll just copy it here. Paste. Okay. So this one comes to us from Altered Mage, and Altered Mage says in the Discord, don't think it worked, but I had fun experimenting. Tried making a yellow-green act like a cold blue. If I could be so daring, I do think it would work if the background wasn't blue. So if I could be so daring, what if I were to add this hue saturation layer, and wait, I have to invert this, and we were to make the background not be blue. So we want to go with green. I'm going to take it here, saturate there, lower saturation there. So if I may, I do think that we can start pushing it towards blue if the background wasn't blue. Right? Like if the background is not blue, then, and even then, if we were to add a little bit more of that here with hue, let's put that in color, like right there. That's super intense. But what happens then if we see? There you go. There's your blue. There's your blue. Look at that. Now, the truth of the matter is that this, I am 100% sure that this is infinitely more difficult with markers. Because, like, I mean, look, I'm just applying a filter here, right? So I just apply a filter. Bam. There's our blue. Without it, wait. So yeah, it becomes greenish blue. By just adding that color layer on top of it, right? So yeah, but it is kind of cheating in this case, because of course, you can add layers on top of it. I think it's fascinating that Altered Mage tried to do it with markers, and it's a beautiful image on its own. Like, I love the angle. I love the angle of it, and I love the way the light is coming in through the door and stuff like that. It's giving me hospital vibes. It's giving me like hospital vibes. So yeah, but there you go. Like, bam, apply that filter, and we can adjust it. We can, like, if we bring it over here, we can get even... Yeah, but I also think it's very interesting because with markers you can just say like, okay, these are the two markers I'm going to use, and that's it. Whatever happens, happens. And I like that. I like that very much. But yeah. So this one is from Altered Mage. Okay, this next one is from Mao. And here we go. Mao always takes us for a ride. So, Mao says, okay, hear me out before you say I cheated. I couldn't get the colors to look right with only gray and one color. So I changed the experiment to the first thing we did, and colored the image with normal colors, and then applied the layer on top with the effects. I don't think I'm really there yet, but I do like that it looks like Fang and Agony are under a red light bulb or something. Also, if you check, everything that's supposed to be blue actually isn't. So that's cool, I guess. Well, you see, that's where I disagree with you, Mao, that you say that you don't think it's there. Because if this blue... Look at that. Look at that. This is reading blue. See, that's reading blue and it isn't. See that? That's reading blue and it isn't. Look at that. We got... The image is not moving away from this area. Right? See, like we are staying in that area. So, okay, well, let's see. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, wow. Holy crap. Look at that. This is absolute gray. This is absolute gray. Look at that. Look, oh wow, look at the blue here. That is... Oh, that's insane. Look at that. That is... Oh, wow. That is amazing. Look at that. Look. That's absolutely gray. See that? Absolutely no blue in this image. That is absolutely gray. Huh. So you did this with the hard light method, right, Mao? Oh wait, we can look at that. Look at that. Oh shit, this has so much potential. Yes, yes, but look at the potential this has. Like, oh, this changes a lot of things. Look at this. And I mean, like, if we just lower the opacity a little bit, we can kind of bring it under control so it doesn't jump out so much. And so now it's still red, but like now it's still in the reds. So if we lower the opacity on that, it becomes less intrusive. Okay, let's see how that works here. Okay, so we're gonna make the background black. Here, there, bam. Okay, probably not the most polished thing on earth, but then we're going to add the hard light layer with red up here. Hard light. Oh, wow. Okay, bam. Like there. And then we're going to grab the hue and saturation, lower the saturation, and just come in here and see what happens when we do the eye. Yeah, maybe we need to... what happens if we do this? Oh, look what happens when we put that in color mode. So now we can just adjust this color to... Okay, what happens if we add another adjustment layer here and we make it... Okay, where's that green gonna come in? I guess we're not gonna get green, but we can get... See that? Okay, what if we were to lower a little bit? And we just... It does take us a little bit to... Maybe not green. I don't think I've been able to achieve green yet. But it definitely does kind of lead us in a very kind of... But then, if we did another thing, like what happens if we kind of go all the way back and remove this, right? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Like, let's apply... wait. I'm gonna remove all the things that are color. Check this out. Like, we're gonna remove all the things that are color. So we're gonna remove... Which one am I missing? I'm missing one. This one? And I'm missing a red one. Where's the red one that I'm missing? It's gotta be around there somewhere. No, what I was gonna do is I'm gonna apply... here we go. Okay, see, now we got that. Okay. So we are going overtime, but check this out. Okay, what if we instead, like, let's do what Mal did. And we're gonna apply a gradient map. Right? So that gradient map, we're just gonna do it complete. We're gonna go let's go from some purple shadows to some warm lights. We'll add the green. Kind of put it there, maybe around there. Lower that here. We'll add maybe even there, make it darker, maybe more, yeah, something like that. We'll add another green around here, make this one something like that, maybe a little bit warmer. let's look for it. Find it, find it. Okay, that, we're gonna make it transition a little bit smoother. And then here we're gonna add kind of a... Sorry, hit the microphone. Okay, something like that, right? Oops. Ah, there we go. Let's lighten that one up a little bit. Oh, okay. But we have to find that sweet spot. Okay, let's do that. Lower the opacity on that one. Kind of get that. Remove that. Okay. Then we just add an extra one, and we make that one for the horns. And we make this one here. Okay, we make this one for the horns. And what we're going to do is we're just going to add it to the horns. Only the horns. I'm sorry if I'm holding anybody back, but the color experiment demands that I stay a little bit extra, so... So yeah, sorry. Oh, well, I'm glad you see it that way. Then we delete that from here. A little bit more. Okay. Now we're going to remove green from here. And we're gonna add some... we're gonna add some what? Some blues, maybe? I don't know. Let's see. Let's add some blues to that, Oh, okay, wait. We have to convert that. Okay. Add some blues to that scarf. Like so. There we go. That's nice and cold and all that. And let's add another gradient map on top of it all. One of the predetermined gradients. I love this one. This one is so cool. And we're gonna lower that one a lot right there. And where was my... I had one that was the rim lighting. Shit, where is that? Here it is. Okay, we're gonna add that one with... Wait, was that the rim lighting? Was it? Okay, kinda was. Kinda was. Let's go with... Ooh. What if we make this one more like something like that? No. No, I don't think I don't even know if that was the rim lighting. We had one that was the rim lighting. I guess, you know, this is what happens when you make it messy. Okay. Let's just put that there. Add a lighten layer. Make a little bit of those lights pop. There we go. Kind of just make them pop a little bit. And then we're going to do that again. But this time we're going to exaggerate it even more. There we go. Lower the opacity on that even more. Okay. Now, according to Mao, if we add a solid color layer with hard light... Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. That did not work. Okay, what if we put it... Okay, if I put it in overlay, what colors do we have in this image? Okay, we got no green here. We got no green here. See that? Now, if we put this one in overlay, lower it a little bit, I'm gonna basically nudge it towards being completely red. Right? Like we slowly push it into being completely red. And so now we got ourselves a completely red image. And then, if we make parts of the image desaturated, we get blue. We get blue. Green eludes me still. Green still eludes me. But we can add a hue and saturation layer underneath this and see where we get the green. Okay, that's turning... Okay, that's turning greenish. Okay, look at that. This turns it blue, but look at that. That's turning greenish. No? Do we... Do we not find this to have turned green a little bit? Okay, what if we did this, but with... I remember... Sabrina once taught me to desaturate with black, not with gray, black. Because it respects a little bit more. Okay, and what happens if we saturate? Okay, that makes no difference though. Just generates banding. I do think it kind of becomes... It kind of does get green. What happens if we push it more towards blue? Look at that. It does get a little bit greener. It gets a little bit more yellow the more I go towards blue. But around here, we get that green. Right? Like, we get that green right there. Wait, sorry. What do you guys think? And like Sabrina said before, as long as we don't make too much of it, but like the more we make, the more we make gray, the less we feel the green. Right? Like so the less we make gray, the stronger the green will read in the parts where it does read. right? So we have to make sure that we don't overdo it with that. But look at that, it does read green. Like, look at that. Like, you definitely get that green from it. Well, this was definitely an interesting experiment. I'll say. Well, no, this was a lot of fun. I also have, I think I might have a few new tricks up my sleeve after this. So, and I love it because, you know, you can kind of post it online and go like, hey, check it out. There's no green in this image. Yeah, I know, blows the mind, blah, blah, blah. So look, there's... Why are you reading? Okay, yeah, that's just absolutely... So, just so that we can remember, here is the image by Altered Mage, which I think was beautiful, and like the markers and all that. Especially look at the size. Have you guys noticed the size? Look at the markers; they're right there for reference. So I always love these miniatures by Altered Mage. They're so much fun. And this was the image by Mao. We also experimented with it a little bit, but definitely got it to look like an extremely intense blue, like just really, really intense blue. And this was a very, very experimented image by me, where we finally got the dragon to look green. So, so overall, I think it was a raging success. I think we got what we were looking for, and thank you everybody for hanging out with me today, and thank you for participating in the challenge. Hopefully we'll be able to do another challenge next week, and I really like these technical challenges, like kind of this experimentation, seeing what we can accomplish and what we can do with just giving us these kind of conditions. Like, okay, what happens when we do gray in one color? What happens when we do this? What happens when we do that? So definitely gonna be aiming to do more stuff like this in the future. And yeah, thank you everybody for hanging out. Oh yeah, like when I look at it on smaller screens and stuff like that, he looks green. So I'm gonna have a lot of fun posting this one and telling, and putting the caption in like, "There's no green in this image." Your eyes deceive you. So, and like if we do this, like if we do like, wait, what? No, okay. If we do this, no, what? Oh, if we, why can't I? Oh, okay. Look at that. That looks super green. Look at that. Oh wow, that looks really, really green. So anyway, so you have been watching the Ministry of Abnormality YouTube live broadcast, and I've been your host, Abnormal. Today has been Friday, Art Challenge Friday, April 14th of 2023. I will be back next Tuesday streaming probably Traveler RPG art. I got some really fun images that I'm working on, so do check them out next Tuesday. Again, thank you to everybody that participated, not just by making art, but you know, we this result of finally getting that green was a group effort. Like, we did this together. This was a group effort that we did together. We figured it out, and that was a lot of fun, and I'm definitely feeling like we got something out of it. So thank you, everybody, and I will see you Tuesday. Until then, I hope you have a very sexy weekend. Enjoy some nice food and fun times, and I'll see you next week. Good hunting, stay naughty, and goodbye. Okay, that went overtime. Should. Yeah. My biggest fear is that I post this on social media and say something like, "Hey, your eyes are tricking you. There's not actually any green in this image," and then somebody in the comments is gonna be like, "I haven't seen no green. What are you on about?" Well, I mean, okay, sorry. Yeah, okay. Anyway.